Fog Entertainment back again with another video, and we're going to look at the Mayans MC Season 5 ratings again, and we're also going to dive in to who's going to be writing, producing the remaining episodes, because I feel like that's going to, give us a wee insight potentially, and also just break down other stuff as well in this fun wee video. Kind of touched on a few of these things yesterday, but I'm going to elaborate a bit more on them. I did see someone, right, who said, well, Isaac can't appear because he's not a main cast. He's been drafted as a main cast, and as you can see, that why can't he? And that's why I don't get, like, it's not like Hope and Letty are main cast. So in my opinion, I can't see why J.R. Isaac Packer was not in episode 3 and 4. I think it's a joke, personally, and there's just, I mean, I don't want to talk about it again, but the fact that they attacked Yuma and we didn't even get to see it. It will baffle me, man. Even years after this show's end, I'll be like, what's that about? Anyway, going into production. Episodes. So, of course, there's only been 4 episodes. We kind of touched on the ratings after the double premiere. So, yeah, the premiere, the single premiere, like the first episode, it did a 0.56. Again, very low ratings, man. Compared to Sons' ratings, Jesus Christ, what we doing here? That was I Hear the Train a Coming. Lord Help My Poor Soul. I mean, I think the fact it's a double premiere, it was always expected to go down, to be honest. Do You Hear the Rain did a 0.4. And then I See the Black Light did also a 0.4. So if you want to put a positive spin on it, you could argue, well, at least they're not losing viewers for the second episode. I mean, they've lost 0.01. But at the same time, these ratings are absolutely abysmal. They are. You can see why FX decided to drop this show. And episode 5, the fact it's hyped up with Mayans against Sun and the trailer looked better, I think the ratings will go up a little bit. But then saying that, the diehard fans of this show would watch it anyway and would just be more like, who's actually, if you're a casual fan, you're not going to be looking for information like, oh, who's going to be in next week's. So I don't know if that really works, being honest. But so next week's up is I Want Nothing But Death. It is directed by Elgin James. It's the first episode of the season he's directed since the premiere. I mean, I wouldn't say Danny Pino or JD Pardo did a bad job. I just feel like the episodes themselves were not good, and I would pin it more on the writing team, Vivian Teze and Meredith Danlock. That's who I would pin it on, because I mean, directing it's one thing, but you can't direct shite. At the end of the day, you could do the best cinematography in the world, if the writing and the plot is shit, doesn't matter what you direct. You could be like, well, that was a cool shot, but it doesn't change the fact the show's shite. So I can sympathise with Danny Pino and JD Pardo, but I Want Nothing But Death. It is directed by Elgin James, written by Sean Farella, who hasn't written an episode this season. Episode 6, My Eyes Filled and Then Closed on the Last of Childhood Tears. That is directed by Alison Anders. It is written by Marahim Hernandez. And I'm not saying there's a problem with this, but I feel like having a different writer for every episode means you're going to have inconsistencies. Now, I get it. Like, every TV show is different. Some TV shows will literally just have the one writer. Like, Kurt Sutter wouldn't even allow improvisation, which I think's fine. Like, if you want to get your product over a certain way, that's fair enough. But here we've got a different writer for each episode. Honestly, Vivian T does come back for episode 7. Elgin James directing episode 7 as well, but so I mean that's an interesting thing as well. But this is the interesting one. I touched on this yesterday. So episode 8, Her Blacks Crackle and Drag. That is the MC reunite for a final farewell. Look who is written the episode. Vincent Fargas. Would it not make sense for him to be writing an episode in which Gilly died? That is why I think it could be good night for the character of Gilly. But I'm disappointed, man, because I mean, I'm not really that bothered if Gilly dies, if I'm being honest. But that means in episode 8, if that's true, and they're carrying that coffin, and it is Gilly, no one else has died, because a lot of members carry. I hope that coffin needs to be getting carried at like the start of episode 6, because who knows what's going to happen in this episode 5. Looks action packed, but you know what? I wouldn't get my hopes up just yet. And then we've got Elgin James and Sean Farella. They are the two writing the finale episode, so that shall be interesting. And yeah, so Sean Farella here, he's written episode 5, which I think will be good. Elgin James always does like premieres and pilots, so not pilots, premieres and finales, so nothing really surprising there. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, guys. But that's just a quick wee update. And as for the ratings, I mean, like I said, they have evened it, but I mean, will the finale beat the premiere? I think it's got to. And I'm not talking about the season 1 premiere. It will not get 2.54 rating. That's what it would have to be to beat it. But I think it probably. I mean, if your finale can't beat a 0.56 rating, man, you've got serious issues. But anyway, guys, till next time, your thoughts down below, and peace.